Part 71 starts out going and getting all of the tributes I need for the Ragnarok bosses and leveling up my Allosauruses because I am trying to use those for the boss because of the pack buff. So, going through the desert, getting all the Thylaclaws, killing death worms as I walk back, leveling up everything to about 250, 252 max. And then on to the next one. Decided to go to get all the rest of the Spino sales I need, because Spinos are also really good for leveling up. And after I got everything and leveled everything, I started the Gamma boss. Just to see if these allos were good enough. I did Gamma first, even though I could have done Alpha. So, let's do it. And I am going to go ahead and show the entire thing. So, this was Gamma. Enjoy. I noticed the dragon had landed, so I decided everybody go ahead and kill that first. And we absolutely shredded the dragon, as you can see. I put up the the heads and the flags, and off to do beta. And I'm not going to show you us completely loading in like I did last time, but I will show the entire fight again. I made sure everything was healed before I went back in, but I didn't take a whole lot of damage, so it wasn't that hard. I had enough meat from the boss fight itself to heal everything, because it really didn't do a whole lot of damage. But here is the entire beta fight. The dragon finally landed, so I went and whistled everybody onto the dragon. Just like last time. Less shredded, but still pretty quickly got the dragon down. Now just for the manticore. And once he landed, it really didn't take that much longer. These rock golems are definitely in the way of everybody, though. And they're not doing us any favors. There we go, he finally landed. And we got him down. I put up those trophies. Grabbed the rest of the artifacts. Healed everybody. And off to Alpha. It got real dark. There we go. Struggled a little bit to get on the Yudi, but we made it. It's fine. And he landed again. No. Get all the griffins. And it got real hard to see in here with all the attacks coming out. That dragon is just pelting us with fireballs. I saw the dragon was on the ground, so I whistled everybody. Because I would like to get the dragon out of the way before we worry about the manticore. And you can see a couple of them started dying. I think I ended up with like 15 or 16 out of the 19 that I brought. So there's 2 down. Dragon's still shredded. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. Oh, I lost more than I thought I did. There's 6. Man. Six of them got killed. So I ended up with 14. Got all of the trophies that I got on this map. All the artifacts. The other 2 trophies over there. And the flags up top.
You've come so far, Survivor. This place was once a vibrant ark, filled with wondrous creatures, before it was contaminated and compromised beyond repair. Long ago, Helena confronted her fellow explorer Rockwell here, when his obsession twisted him beyond humanity and reason. Even Helena could not truly put an end to Rockwell's madness. And he's survived here in the shadows all this time, feeding on poison and growing stronger. You have to finish what Helena started. If we are to save Earth, Rockwell must be stopped. If there's anything left of the person that Helena knew, Edmund would want to be stopped. Steel yourself, Survivor, for here terrors await you.
Okay, as I was saying, I decided to bring, well, I said Jack, I meant Draco the Thorny Dragon. I do have Jack the Kangaroo, Midnight, and Dawn. Or, no, Dusk. Because those are the 3 that I brought from the other 3 maps. Took me a minute, but I figured out how to get that one. And since I started in the portal, I decided to go ahead and get all 3 of the notes that I know where they are. I died a few times, ended up back in the portal, and found a level 135 horse, I believe it was. But Raptor killed me after I jumped off. I spawned back at the portal, ended up with the horse, continued where I had left off, and I got it tamed. Finally. It's weird to me that that says 100% and it wasn't fully tamed. But I got it. I found the base location I wanted. There were a couple of moss chops on the way, so I got those as well. And for some reason, the last time I built here, I was able to build like in the wall, and this is not letting me. So I built it the best I could. You'll see the finished product in a couple of days once it's finally done. But But I decided I was going to build what I could. And I had to use ceilings and pillars and all that fun stuff to get what I actually wanted to build. But I figured it out eventually. You can see it in my face that I am very bored of building. I got so tired of it. I got this crab off the cliff because it was getting too close to my base. I got a Ravager knocked out and tamed. Not a very good one, but it's something. And a raptor. And as you can see, I got the stairs up to my base. I didn't put in a building montage because it took me like 4 or 5 different tries of trying to figure these stairs out to get. And it would have just been me building, then destroying, building and destroying, building and destroying, and nobody wants to see that. It's fine. But I kind of got it laid out to how I wanted it. And then I just needed walls. Day 71 was a very long day. Because I finished Ragnarok and started Aberration. So there's a lot of stuff to show. But I kind of finally got everything kind of situated the way I wanted it, for the most part. Figured out where all my doors were gonna go. I can get into this base on all 4 sides. Yes, 4 sides, even the back. You'll see here in a second. It wouldn't let me build a wall there in that rock, so I had to kind of try to figure it out. Finally put the door up. Not that I can enter from the backside of the base very easily. You'd have to like drop down into the cliff or something. I'm not even sure that you can, but could. It wouldn't even let me build a ceiling there, so I also had to figure that out. There is a small hole in the ceiling, but we got it eventually. And it was taking too long to build and come back and place some, and build and come back and place some, that I just decided to make like 40 of them, I think. I don't know. I had enough and then a couple extra for the entire base. Because I didn't count them. I wasn't going to count that. That would take too long. This is a pretty decent sized base, so. Well, decent sized for me anyway. And then I tried to figure this out. So what I did was do half a ceiling. And have just this tiny little bit right there. It bothers me, but it is what it is. I built this little thing so I could go get crystal. And then I started furnishing my base. Bookshelves. Cabinets. Storage. I got a fridge. Well, preserving bin. Then I found this otter in the water next to me. Got myself a fabricator. Tamed a parasaur because it was level 140. And you guys are gonna have to tell me in the comments, should I tame every aberrant creature as well? Because I do have to tame every creature. I've asked several people if I should, and all of them have said no so far, so I'm gonna not tame every aberrant creature, although I could. Day 72, I made a generator and connected it, even though I have nothing to connect it to. I did tame this high-level Spino that was stuck right here by my base. My crossbow broke, but I managed to get him. Grabbed an explorer note with it. Knocked out this scorpion with my horse. Realized it was a high level one, so I said, why not? I was gonna use it to help me knock stuff out. I got this Dodic tamed. Actually, two of them. I went and knocked everything out with the horse, pretty much. Bear by my base killed the Ravager that I tamed while I was out. And I got a level 150 bear trapped in the trap and was shooting it for a little bit, and it started to run, so I jumped in with the horse. During all of this, I did make one cryopod, that way I could get things in and out of this trap. Got the bear tamed. Threw it out. And that was pretty much it for day 72. Day 73. Saddled up the Dodic that we bred up from the other two that we got. Knocked out a high-level Spino. Got it all tamed up. Knocked out another one that was kind of stuck underneath my stairs. And I really liked its colors, and it was a good level, so I said, why the hell not? It's level 145. Really, really nice. Got it saddled and unstuck. really easily. And went out, grabbed an explorer note so I could train it up a little bit, because I was going to use it quite a bit. Used it to get another bear into my trap so I could have a breeding pair. Finally made the egg incubator. Placed it down next to the fabricator. Because I had a bunch of Spino eggs ready to go. Got the bear tamed up. For some reason couldn't get it in the cryopod. But made it into the trap, got it out. Brought it home and bred it with my level 150 that I tamed. Found this red bulldog. And got breeding on the Spinos, trying to get the good stats on it. Realized I needed a lot more cryopods, so I ended up going and making some and cleaned up the base a little bit. Finally got some red gems from this roll rat. Day 74, I got a fridge? Yeah, fridge. I was gonna say ACs, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have those. Looked what I needed to get the cooker and the grill, because eventually I want to get one. Added a couple of more forges and kept working on getting the good stats on Spinos. I found this tree platform, or the cliff platform, in a drop, so I added it to the base to make it a little better. I do keep adding those as I get them, so they're necessary. Went down to the blue zone and constructed myself a trap over by this explorer note here. Because I saw a high-level Megalosaurus right next to it. And so I shot it, got it in the trap, and got it knocked out. Also found this 150 monkey, so I said why not. Again, you guys are going to have to let me know if you want me to tame all of the aberrant creatures as well. Or aberrant variants of creatures as well. Got more red gems from a roll rat, because I needed those. Found this cool colored Anki, and this does end up being the only one that I tame and use. I found plenty of higher levels later on, but I like the colors of this one and I didn't feel like breeding, so I just got it all tamed up and that's the one I use. Finally had enough for a hazard suit, so I decided to make one of those. Went out and got a couple more explorer notes that I found along the way in the cave. And got the cave going. Or got through the cave. Decided to tame this glowtail on the way out. It was the best level I found, and it wasn't very good. And I found this cool colored Ravager that was a high level on the inside of it after farming the drop in there for a little while to try to get the Scorched Earth items. Grabbed a couple explorer notes with my bear. This is the bred up bear. And these are all of the ones that I know for sure about around the area, so I went ahead and grabbed them. There's not that many that I know of. Got this roll rat tamed up because I really need a lot of wood in this playthrough, or in this map, so this thing is super necessary. Got another cliff platform while I was out and about. And then I started leveling stuff up that I could inside the base. Later on I'd work around this for bigger creatures, but right now it's just inside. Found an otter in the little waterfall area over by my base, so I tamed that up. Okay, so I'm super fucking annoyed. I did basically this entire day and I didn't record any of it because I forgot to hit record. So I'll walk you through what I did. I got a feather light because I went down to the red zone. I got... Where did she go? I got a second megalo and then bred them. I went down to the red zone and got a rock drake. There she is. This is my bred one. I got 2 rock drakes, actually. And, well, 3, because one of them was a twin to that one. They're not very good. The best one I got was a level 60. I built this and an industrial forge. And the cryo fridge and a mystery bench. And a second set of hazard gear. Yeah. And then I went back to the cave to get a second artifact. And I found these in drops. I think that is it. And I cleaned up the base because I made a whole bunch more cryopods. But yeah, that's what happened today. And I'm kind of mad because that was the first time I had ever gone down to the red zone and back first try without dying, and nobody was able to see it because I forgot to hit record. But yeah, I'm gonna take this thing and go down and get better ones. That one kind of sucks. Even though this was a 55 and that was a 60. Yeah, thanks. I hate not clicking record. So yeah, that happened on day 75. Day 76, I filled up the industrial forge with a whole bunch of metal. Got a second egg incubator, like I said, to put on the roof for training purposes of bigger dinos. And went back down to get a better rock drake, like I mentioned. I made it to the terminal, so I took everything that I brought with me out. And of course, not a single one of them could be thrown out. Found this level 170 rock drake egg, along with a whole bunch of other ones. Well, not really. No, not a whole bunch of other ones. Maybe I did. I used them to get a basilisk here in a little bit. Found some obsidian in the blue zone. And I know I'm gonna need a butt ton of polymer. Finally decided to grab a dung beetle, even though I'm pretty sure I don't use it like 90% of this map. At least so far. Found a really cool colored Spino. Terrible level, but I liked it, so I grabbed it. And then, funny enough, I ended up with a mutation from my Spinos of this same color, as you'll see here in a little bit. And there was a Spino at my base that was a good level, so I tamed it too. Got this little wall built up. And of course, I had to test it out to make sure it worked with my brand new rock drake. But yeah, this is the Spino I was telling you. I got the exact same colors as the one I knocked out, except for the red sail, which I was okay with not having. I just wanted it for the blue. Went out and got a whole bunch more metal again. Because at some point, I haven't yet, but at some point I plan to make a tech replicator and a transmitter, so I don't have to worry about getting out of here somehow and having to use the surface or the trench, the red zone, to get to a terminal. I can just transfer out on my own. Went down to the red zone to get a bunch of oil, because I need that as well. Then I found a basilisk that was a pretty decent level. I didn't know it was a decent level, but it's level 202. So it ended up being pretty nice. I just kind of tamed the first one I ended up finding. Got the industrial grinder finally, because during one of my trips to the first artifact cave, I managed to grab one thorny dragon saddle out of the Scorched Earth drops. That way I can grind it down for cactus sap, so make the boss fight a lot easier. Decided to go out and grab a couple of the close by explorer notes to start working on getting all of those. I started in the green zone, grabbing as many as I could find. I was, of course, watching a video, trying to figure out where all of them were, because I don't know where they all are. This just makes it easier for me to find them all. But this is the start of grabbing as many as I can get to. I try to break it up into different sections, that way you guys don't have to just watch an entire montage of just explorer notes for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, however long it takes. On day 78, I hatched up a whole bunch of rock drakes because I went down to get some better eggs. Decided to go to the surface and found an explorer note while I was up there. Of course, grabbed the rest of the artifacts of this cave that I needed. Cool colored glowtail that got hit by an arthro, but I tamed it anyway. And then went into the underwater cave to get the artifact of the shadows. Yes, I didn't bring the otter. Also, yes, I went down there 3 more times. But I will spare you having to see that 3 times. It really was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be, so I said, yeah, I'll go do it 3 times. And same with this one. Super easy cave. Once you know the path, it's simple. So I got lost getting out the first time, but I figured my way through it the second, third, and fourth time going through. Since I had all 3 artifacts, I went to fight Rockwell, but my game did this. And I ended up dying because I couldn't see anything. So I thought that was incredibly unfair, so I rolled back my save. So whatever items didn't get put back from that, for some reason half my items were gone. I did end up spawning in, because I think it's stupid. I lost everything, or almost everything, because of the game fucking up. I placed the flag and the head. I went down and went ahead and grabbed, or got pregnant from a reaper. And when I got home, I ended up hatching a couple of rock drakes I had, just sitting and shooting them with my shotgun that I left here. Not the best shotgun, but it worked. And I had an extra set of hazard gear and everything so that I could get back, because I figured I was gonna die. But I made it back, got my rock drake, got my featherlight, they survived. Then I trapped this Carcanos right here by a tree and built the little cannon ladder next to it. I forgot the cannonballs, so I went home and made 5 of them to make sure. I missed the first 2 and knocked it out on the 3rd. Tamed it up, and day 80. Sorry, it's a big Explorer Note montage because I did the entirety of the green zone. So, all of the green zone and a small portion of the blue zone. I ended up getting on day 80 because I still have quite a bit to go. So here is that. ended up on the surface of the blue zone area and got that. I didn't even know it was there, but I got it. Went back to the cave. This was all the loot I got. I did end up with 2 thorny dragon saddles, so I ground those down and managed to come out with, I think, 6 or 7 cactus broth, and started working on all the bullets I was gonna need. Decided to put down the cooker, and with all of the extra stuff that I got, along with some added extra stuff, I painted my armor because I felt like it. I painted everything, actually. Killed a bunch of nameless at the terminal to get all the 12 venom for beta. Potted up my rock drake and went for it. This one went exactly as intended. So here is basically the entirety of the fight. I'm just gonna show the phases where I'm attacking Rockwell instead of the entire thing, because that was like 20-30 minutes, not like 20 minutes maybe of recording. But I go around, kill all the tentacles, and kill Rockwell. You've seen it, everyone knows how this works. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before. I had 2 different shotguns, so I was testing out to see which one was decent, which one wasn't on this phase. I only really use the other one if I need something like immediately. I'll switch to it and use it. Ended up back here on this phase because one of the Reapers was like right in the way of where I needed to go, so I found a spot where I could shoot him, like kinda in his armpit, and still get to him. Every time I reload, I'm checking my surroundings to make sure I ain't getting hit by a Reaper. My heart was pounding during this fight because I have never done this solo with cactus broth before. So I was worried that I was going to get too close to something and they were going to attack me and I was going to immediately die by a Reaper because I got too close. This phase, I believe, is... No, it's not that one. There's one that, like, is upsetting. It's not this one either, it's the next one. I remember. No, maybe it is this one. I'm so close. Yeah, it's this one. I'm so close. There's like 2 hits left. And of course, this is the one where I get trapped in here. So I end up shooting everything I can from in here. Because there's a Reaper right there that I can't get past. He's not looking at me, so I'm gonna go for it. And just hope and pray that I'm okay. Which, we're good. And with 5 seconds left on my cactus broth, it just ended and it's done. Like I said, I wanted to build a tech replicator. Did not realize how much work it's going to be. But I'm starting that process and trying to get as much element figured out and crafted as I can. I'm going to need a lot of resources to get what I need to make this tech replicator and transmitter. But I'll get there. I won't show every one of these. I ended up ending day 80 with, I believe, 11 or 12 element. Tamed this colorful horse and this moss chops because I don't know. They were both high level.